When I think of why I like adopting rescue dogs, it's not a matter of them being rescue dogs, it's just having a dog. I've had a dog my entire life. I've always loved having dogs. To me, there's I guess a need to adopt rescue dogs. You feel like you're saving more of a dog's life than if you go and get an expensive pure breed dog from a store, which I've never seen a need for. So it makes you feel a little bit better, but it's just having a dog is the most important thing. Tanner is my fourth rescue dog. The first dog we had for probably 12, 13 years, his name was Freckles. That's the dog that I truly grew up with as a child. My next dog was Fred, that we had Fred just before you were born. So Fred was really our first child, and then we had you and Charlie. I actually did have a rescue dog in college that they didn't let me take care of in college, so my mom ended up giving it away, which upset me. And then Tanner's the fourth rescue dog I've had.
So we got Tanner when he was 2 years old, and we rescued him from the Golden Retriever Rescue Society. And when we got him, you could see his ribs because he was so skinny. Because he's a rescue dog, like, he's scared of almost anything. If you drop your keys, he won't come near you for a while because of the noise. He's scared of his water bowl because it made a noise one time. An acorn dropped on his head one time when we were walking him, and he wouldn't go outside for like 2 weeks. It's sad, but he's awesome.
The thing that got me even more motivated about adopting rescue dogs is getting to know the people that volunteer at the rescue dog societies. And especially when it comes to what we did with Tanner, my first 3 dogs I got from the pound. And I think the pound does a great thing, especially by not euthanizing the dogs and taking care of the dogs and getting them ready for adoption. But in the case of Tanner, it came specifically from a Golden Retriever Rescue Society. That's all they focus on. Remember, we knew that we wanted a Golden Retriever after taking care of one after our last dog passed away. We never considered a Golden Retriever before. We took care of one over Christmas and we fell in love with them. Then we met people that took care of dogs at the Golden Retriever Rescue Society. They don't charge a fee for these dogs. You don't know if he's a pure breed or not. We didn't care if he was a pure breed, but in his case, he looked like a pure breed here. So it's pretty amazing to think someone can love dogs so much that they can fall in love with the dog for that 60-day period and then be willing to give him up so that he can go have a great life with a loving family. Everybody wants a puppy. Everybody wants a puppy and a ribbon at Christmas time. And with our fourth dog, we decided to go ahead and get an adult dog. We wanted a dog that had been potty trained. That was the advantages. The disadvantages is at 2 years, Tanner was already set in his ways. There were certain things he was very afraid of, and one of those things was men. So it was a struggle. I don't know if you remember it as a child, but every time I opened the door, Tanner seemed like he wanted to tear my head off. He was barking and very upset because it was clear again that he possibly was abused by some men at some time in his life. So it took some time for Tanner to get to know me and for me to get to know him to where he would trust me.
Part of Tanner's abuse was being neglected. So he was just left in a basement, and I guess that's how they wanted to deal with him because they didn't want to have a dog anymore. But luckily he was found and taken care of by a lovely foster woman. But he was very skinny. Like I said, you could see his ribs. Very timid, scared of almost everything, scared of us, scared of men. You could definitely see that it was a man that abused him because he wouldn't go near my dad, and every single time my dad walked in, he would just bark at him. Because he was neglected, if we leave for even 5 minutes to go to the grocery store, it's so sad. He gets depressed, especially if my parents go on a vacation, or if any of us go on a vacation. He won't eat. He won't eat his food. He won't drink any water. He just lays there and just hopes that we'll come back. And then when we do come back, he just goes wild because he's so excited to see us. He loves being with us.
I never had no one, I didn't feel alone. You're more than a lover. There can never be another to make me feel the way you do.
The memory we have of Tanner is certainly something that you also remember. We'd only had Tanner for about a week, and remember, Tanner was also very paranoid. He was afraid of everything. It was a beautiful day. We decided to go out because we like to shoot a lot of basketball in our driveway. I decided it would be a great idea to sit into a real lightweight folding chair, and I had Tanner tied to the folding chair, and I was sitting there petting him. Well, I like to play basketball, and I forgot about Tanner being tied to the chair, and I got up and I started playing basketball. The problem is Tanner got up, and when he got up, him and his 80-pound body at the time tipped the chair over. Well, again, he's afraid of everything. It startled him, and he started to run. Well, the faster Tanner ran, the more the chair tied to him via the neck and the chain began to bang around, and he just ran frantically around all over the neighborhood. He knocked over a for sale sign. He ran faster and faster the more that we were chasing him. Remember, me and you and your brother were all screaming and chasing him, and Mom had gone to the grocery store for just 10 minutes. Finally, I was able to dive in a neighbor's yard and grab the end of the chair, which pretty much stopped him in his tracks, and I dove on top of him. And by the time and you guys dove on top of me, the time we cleared the dog pile, if you will, we realized we'd actually fallen in and drugged through a pile of probably Tanner's dog poop that was in the yard. So we had broken for sale signs, and we had dog poop all over us, and we had one incredibly scared dog. What's the greatest thing about having a dog? Why have I had a dog every single day of my 50 years? It's because of how incredibly loving they are. They're never in a bad mood. And I've heard this quote several times about dogs. I don't remember who said it, but it's the perfect quote, and that is, if I were half the man that my dog thinks I am, and the way he treats me every day, then I would be a great man. Because the way he treats me is like I'm the best man in the world, which I'm clearly not, but he seems to think I am every single day when I come home.
Yeah, it's been a great 9 years with him. 10 today. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Tanner.
You're my best friend. You're my best friend.